Yo, it's Klone here, back with another video. As you see in the title, I'm basically going to say how I think 2K should handle the token market update. So I'm going to give my recommendations, which also would be predictions on what they're going to do with the token market in terms of packs. I'm going to go over what Galaxy Opals I think they'll add, any pink diamonds I think they'll add, and also if they give any updates to any of the cards that was already there, similar to when they updated David Robinson, what's his name, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, when they I think they did it during the last token market update. So yeah, I feel like they're gonna update some cards in there, similar to how they did with Tony Parker, update some of the cards that was still like kind of usable, even though all they did with Tony Parker was make an unusable card a little bit less unusable. And I will be dropping my power forwards that you can buy now, the opal ones, that list later on today. But I wanted to try something different real quick before I move back with that series. So this is what I'm gonna do. And now that we got that introduced, let's get my prediction started. So basically, for the token packs, I think they'll actually keep the multi-dimensional and lights out packs. For a lot of players use these basically to turn tokens into MT, and I feel like 2K knows that, but I feel like they don't care enough about this. So since they still gonna sell packs regardless, and these packs don't really give anything too valuable. Now I do think they'll replace these. Oh, that's 30. Oh man, my prices might be different then. I feel like they'll replace these. So starting out with this, I feel like they're gonna replace these packs with Leap Year, Campus Legends, Fan Favorites 1 and 2, Out of Positions 1 and 2, and Takeover. I think they're gonna update Zach LaVine. In my opinion, I think all they really need to do is just increase his defense a little bit, make him a little bit stronger, because that strength is not going to cut it, even for a 6'5" point guard. And give him, they can of course do like make everyone badges better, but I'm gonna just really say the badge that I really think they need. And for Zach LaVine, he needs half quick draw. And of course, I think all of the requirements for the evos is gonna be 50 points, just like every other reward evo. Next is of course Bradley Beal, because he's in dire need of upgrade. I know you look at the stats, you're like, okay, maybe he could be a little better in the post, but what's wrong? He has solid defense. I feel like they can make his interior and block go up a little bit. I think that they can do a little bit to the rebounding too, but mainly that strength. And with the evo, the main thing will be similar to how Jamal Crawford gains a secondary position on the triple threat board, that Jamal Crawford, when he evos the pink diamond, I feel like they should make this evo change secondary position to point guard, and that would make Bradley Beal a lot more usable, because he's unusable at shooting guard and small forward at this point in the game. And then Tim Duncan, because honestly, like, seeing how the Tim Duncan played at the time he came out, he was okay. He was one of the first centers that can speed boost and do everything. But at this point, like, having a coach, shoe plus floor general is too much to speed boost, especially when they're dropping some centers that can speed boost off rip. So I say increase his ball handling, make him faster. He's slow at this point in the game. 85 speed, 80 speed with ball, 97 acceleration. Make him faster. I don't even care about the vertical or none of that. And the lateral quickness can really stay the same, but badge wise, of course all players can get a increase in badge, but especially Tim Duncan, just is really simple. Give him half quick draw and at least gold range. I know they're gonna drop a GOAT Tim Duncan too, because he's a GOAT material card. So I feel like that card should have half range, but this card should have like gold range, or at least half quick draw, and then people can run them at power forward and use them like a Giannis type player that probably can't shoot but can do everything else. And lastly, this card I already locked in. if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Josh Smith. In my opinion, he's also simple. Like, I feel like his stats are fine. Like, maybe just a nitpick, slight boost in strength, like a +5 or +10. Or maybe increase his ball handling a little bit, so when he's tired, maybe he doesn't get too much of a loss in ball handling department. But honestly, like, just little things, like maybe an extra shooting badge or two. Like, I don't think he has dead eye, but for real, all he really needs is, let's say, golden pluckable and half quick draw and half range extender would be a plus, honestly. Like, Josh Smith is still a really good card on defense. I just feel like they can do a small little update to him. For the pink diamonds, I say get a Ben Simmons. For basically budget players, he would take the Michael Beasley spot, except Ben Simmons wouldn't really be the shooter that Michael Beasley is. Instead, he would be that big guy that's gonna bully smaller guards and basically be a slightly downgraded version of the unevoled Opal, because I feel like they shouldn't make him be able to shoot if the unevoled version of his Opal can't shoot. A Luka Doncic to replace the D'Angelo Russell. Just similar to Ben Simmons, but you lose a little bit of height and strength for the ability to shoot with Luka Doncic. And for Ben Simmons, his primary would be power forward and then point guard, so he doesn't, because it was point guard first, and he's going to have some more points, because I think it has to do with heights with the ratings, so his rating might be higher if he's a tall point guard instead of a basic size power forward that can also run point. Similar to Luka Doncic, I have him as shooting guard and point guard, so that height doesn't fluctuate his rating and make it go up if his primary is point guard. Another guy I recommend is Andrei Kirilenko, because the Opal Andres are already by it now, but some players might not feel comfortable with spending all that, like any MT on an Andrei Kirilenko card. But you would spend 150 tokens real quick just to have basically an Andrei Kirilenko that can shoot, play defense, but you don't really need him to dribble, so that's why people don't really want to buy him, because if they spend MT on, because I think he's still kind of expensive, like 70 to 80k, just not like super duper expensive like he's still buying now. But yeah, just basically someone to try. Another guy is Andreas Ilgauskas, similar to where's he at? Well, a mix of LaMarcus Aldridge and Kevin Willis, if I can find him. Yeah, so he would be able to handle a bit like LaMarcus could and shoot a bit, but he would also be as big as Kevin Willis. I would say give him similar stats except higher ball handling, but maybe like worse on the perimeter for Andreas Ilgauskas. Like maybe make him a bit slower, like just somebody that you have out there to shoot the ball, similar to Vlade Divac, I would say. Just a token market reward version of Vlade Divac. For the Opals, I looked at how they did the updates and tried to predict off of that. So similar to, I noticed that they dropped these point guards, so like these smaller type point guards, Tony Parker, Zach LaVine, even though he's 6'5", Ja Morant. And with that in mind, I thought about a player that people want but isn't a super crazy pack seller, and that's Damian Lillard. He's not going to sell packs as the primary guy, but you could just satisfy people by throwing him in a token market. Make him like the toughest of all the shorter point guards. Give him similar stats to Ja Morant. Maybe a better, they gave Ja Morant a great 3. Maybe make him better in the post or something like that. Or, yeah, like just make him similar to Ja Morant, honestly. Maybe make him stronger. Give up some, probably like a speed or two for a little bit better strength. So just something simple like that. Somebody else I thought about was Brandon Ingram. Oh, of course, Damian Lillard is going to be a point guard, shooting guard. Brandon Ingram would be a small forward shooting guard. Basically, the contrast Pascal Siakam and Jason Tatum, because those are the guys that I see Brandon Ingram more compared to. So, and I don't see Brandon Ingram being a crazy pack seller too. Yeah, he'd be a 6'9" small forward, but a lot of YouTubers and people that I've heard don't really like his release that much. So, similar to like a Bob Pettit type guy, you just toss him in the token market, and whoever does like that type of player will take him. Like, I know for sure I would use him as a shooting guard. Well, not necessarily. I would use somebody else that I have named later, but like Brandon Ingram would be a great shooting guard to any team, and I would use him, just not my first pick. Next, I have Danny Manning. I thought about how they added Bob Pettit, base 98 guy who could also play power forward, small forward. Who else did I notice? Oh yeah, Josh Smith. I thought about a Josh Smith type guy who can also play defense. That's when I thought about Danny Manning. He could, similar to how Brandon Ingram is the contrast to like a Pascal Siakam, he would be the free version. I have Danny Manning as a freer version compared to what's his name, Lamar Odom, and he would be a small forward, power forward. You basically would use him like Lamar Odom, and I feel like if they do this, they should update Lamar Odom and give him half quick draw, just so like people can be like, all right, well, Danny Manning is basically Lamar Odom but with half quick draw. So like it could really be like well, do you want to spend money, lock in prime 3, or do you want to, you know, for the grinders basically, do you want to lock in tokens for him? And finally, because I've noticed they dropped these center guys, I'm trying to think about who well, they got Tim Duncan, who they put at power forward, but at the time people would use him at center. David Robinson, Amari Stoudemire also can double at center, but like he's a power forward because he's a little shorter. Bill Walton, just because I feel like adding a center / power forward Bill Walton to the regular rosters will just be a little bit different when you have a point guard version. While you can throw him in and he could serve, like he could have similar stats to Amari Stoudemire, similar well, not similar to Tim Duncan, maybe similar stats to updated Tim Duncan, but he would be power forward / center. Well, center / power forward, and he's 6'11". He has a nice body type. He has good animations. I also don't see him as a pack seller. So throwing him on the token market can please people that grind for the tokens. I know that would be the first person I get if I were to if they were to update the token market the way I'm saying that they are. But overall, I'm not gonna do the diamonds because I feel like how initially when they did the token market, of course they dropped their regular tokens from Emerald to Galaxy Opal. Their first token market update where they really added new players, it was Amethyst to Diamond to Pink Diamond to Opal, and then afterwards the next time they did Diamond, Pink Diamond, Opal. And I feel like we're at the stage where, well, people can grind the Spotlight Sims, right? They can grind Spotlight Sims. Not even these ones. If you're solid enough, you can grind these Spotlight Sims for 6 opals. So I feel like we're at a point where it's like people really shouldn't be running full teams of pink diamonds no more. Like you should at least have half a roster of opals. So they might not be I don't see them dropping any diamonds. Diamonds at this point are useless, and they're really just to fill in packs, similar to how amethysts and rubies used to be, and especially emeralds and sapphires. And then I see the last final token market being how they did last year, where they add all the auctionable gold cards to this part and make them like what, nearly 2,000 tokens. So, but at this point, I feel like they're only going to do the pink diamond, galaxy opal, and this, and they're going to update some opals that we have that need to be updated. But yeah, that's my prediction. Thanks for watching. If you have your own predictions, please leave them in the comments. I want to see what you think. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe. I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers by the end of the summer just to get a solid foundation to build off of as I get near my graduation and as I get more time to actually work on making videos. But I'll catch y'all in the next one.